Hello, it's podcast day again already. It is Wednesday, the 20th of November, and it's about 10:15 in the morning here at the moment. If you are new here, my name is Jenny, and this is my podcast where I talk about all the stuff I've been making and what's going on generally, and just show you anything that I think might be interesting. If you have been here before, doing things a little differently today. For one, I'm sat back down. I tried standing up last week, I didn't like it. So I'm back to sitting down. If the chair is creaky, I'm sorry. I do need to get it sorted out. But I haven't yet, so you'll just have to deal with it. I am breaking away from my usual format. It's been feeling a little bit, I don't know what the word is. A little bit too formal, maybe. That's the doorbell going, sorry. Yeah, just a bit formal, a bit too structured. I haven't really been enjoying it, so I thought today I would just keep things a little bit more relaxed. Basically, I have got notes. I'm going to just go through all my projects and a few other bits and bobs, and we'll see where we get to. I haven't yet decided whether this will be a 1-part or a 2-part episode. You will probably know already because I'll have put it in the title if it's a 2-parter. I'll have put that this is part 1. Basically, I'm just going to see how I go. I will check how long I've been waffling on for every now and then. If it starts getting really long, then I'll stop and do another video, separate video for the rest of it. Right, a few bits before I begin properly. A little bit of housekeeping. As always, there will be notes in the description box underneath the video that will include Ravelry project pages for all the projects that I talk about, as well as links to anything else that I think is useful or interesting. I'm just going to move slightly. There we go. If you think I've missed anything, just let me know in the comments and I will add it in later. The episode will be broken into chapters. It's not that structured, but there'll be chapter links again in the description or on the progress bar for the video, so you can skip to and from, about forwards and backwards through the different sections. If you like, I know I find that useful on other people's videos, so hopefully you will too. What else was I going to mention? I think that's all the housekeeping stuff, possibly. Oh, my next craft market, not one I'm hosting, one I'm just trading at. Just a quick note, in case you happen to be in the area, it will be on the 30th of November in Starbeck. That's here in North Yorkshire, near to where I live. I think the venue is called St Andrew's Church, but I will pop that in the description too. So if you're around, if you're local-ish on the 30th of November, please do pop along. I believe it's just in the afternoon. I think it starts at 12, possibly, but then it runs till 6. It's quite late. Goes quite late, and it's always really lovely. It's really it's a full-on Christmas market, and last year they had Santa's Grotto and they had carols playing all day, and it was lovely. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And having mentioned Christmas, Vlogmas is just around the corner. I did it last year and I think I'm going to do it again. I haven't 100% decided, but I'm pretty sure I will. If you don't know what Vlogmas is, it is basically a month of mini vlogs, daily mini vlogs. Last year, what did I do? I think I did I do a few days at a time? I should probably put my phone on silent, that's a reminder. I can't remember what I did last year. I think I recorded every day but then released a video every few days, I think. But I could be wrong. I think this year I'm going to try and do a video every day. I'm not going to promise that that's going to happen, but I'm going to try. I will certainly record every day. I will be focusing mostly on the crafting side of things, just because that's what this channel is all about. You know, it's about my crafty adventures, all the things that I make. So that'll be the main focus. I do have a couple of yarny advents that I will open with you, show you the contents of those, and you know, I'll show you like putting our Christmas decorations up, and if we go anywhere or do anything that is particularly relevant, then I'll show you that too, but it'll be mostly crafting. I am intending to do a day zero video on the 30th this year, but I have just said I'm at a craft market that day, so I might not manage it. We shall see. If I do, it'll be uploaded on the 1st of December, just so you've got something to watch on the first day if you want to, because I would imagine that I will be posting the videos, uploading the videos the day after I record them, so the video for 1st of December will go up on the 2nd, and so on. I hope that makes sense. I have no idea whether it does or not. Right, get myself properly into position. I feel like I'm not. There we go, that's better-ish. So let's dive in. I'm just going to go through my various projects. Again, there will be project page links in the description for most of these, not for all of them, and in fact this first one that I'm going to start with, there is no page yet. I probably should set one up, but I haven't done yet. But I will do at some point. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you all of this because I can't be bothered to stand up and move around too much today. I just thought I'd give you a little update on the progress of the blanket for my brother. This is an ongoing project. This was supposed to be a birthday present. It is still a birthday present. His birthday is in April. And it's a present for this year, not next year. If you've been around for a while, you would have seen it's been taking me a while, but it's because I had an idea and then it kind of grew and got a little bit out of control. I am basically making him a blanket, which is a colourwork blanket. It's sort of somewhere between tapestry and intarsia crochet. Combination of the two, and it is based on a photograph of my mum's dog who died a couple of years ago, who my brother was very, very fond of. And the first attempt, I went as true to colour as possible with all the shading and all of that. Far too complicated. I got a few rows in and so I can't carry on with this. The colour changes for every couple of stitches and it's just, no, it'll take forever. So I simplified the chart so it's a little bit more stylised, but I think it's turning out okay, and I'm nearly done actually with the crochet anyway. So here's how it's looking. Try round as a, so, oh no, that way, I can't see. So we have a nose and the beginning of his eyes. I hope you can still hear me behind all this. Oh yeah, that looks really good on camera actually. Yay. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, it's coming on really well. I think I've got about 65 rows left, which means if I carry on at the pace that I've been working on it for the past few days, I will have it finished, the crochet finished, by the end of the month, which is well overdue, but that's what my current goal is. That goal has moved several times this year. Yeah, my current goal is by the end of November I want to have it done. I will have the crochet done by then. I'm not sure I'll have it completely finished. I want to back it with some fabric as well. I'm going to go to a local fabric store and get some fleece, I think, for the back, and then some bias binding, is that what it's called, for the edges, just because the edges are really wonky, and so I want to make them as neat as possible. My original thought was to crochet around the edge once the backing's on, so I'll crochet them together, but it's too wonky for that, so bias binding it is. Make it nice and neat, and then I will give it to my brother as soon as I possibly can. After that it might well be Christmas, to be honest, but that's okay. He has been very, very patient, and I hope he will really like it. This is all made using Stitchcraft Special DK in various colours. It's affordable, it's good quality, it is 100% acrylic, so it can just go in the wash. You won't have to do any special hand washing or anything like that. It's soft but reasonably hard wearing, so hopefully it will last a good long time. And yeah, affordable, although I did spend a lot, but that's because I've got a lot of yarn. It'll be interesting to see how much I have actually used when I finish it. I think I worked out the number of stitches the other day that it'll be. I can't remember what it is, but there's 200 odd stitches per row and there's 200 odd rows, so that gives you a rough idea. But yeah, it's coming along really, really well. I'm really happy. I forgot to do the usual, if you're a member of my family and you haven't had a birthday present yet this year, look away warning. So hopefully my brother hasn't just seen all that. He knows I'm making him something, but I haven't told him what, so I'm hoping it will still be a surprise when I give it to him. Hang on, I've just realised I've dropped a notebook which I need for the next project. Okay, this next one is also an overdue birthday present. It's less overdue. This is for one of my sisters, Harriet, and lost what I was going to say. And it's nearly finished. That's what I was going to say. Oh dear, brain's just gone. Complete brain freeze then. Can't be having that already. I've got lots to talk about. So yes, you have seen this before as a work in progress. It is now very, very almost finished. I literally just need to possibly find, but I'd like to make 2 buttons for the back of this. And this is the Big Skulls cushion that I have been working on for a while. So it's been sat waiting for me to block the panels. So gorgeous. I love this yarn. This is Hobby Metallico in, I think they're called Mystic Black and Night Blue, I think. It's a little bit of a pain to work with. I think it's got, it's mostly acrylic, but might be 100% acrylic. I can't remember, and I don't know where the label's gone. But it's got a bit of a halo to it. Squeaky voice, sorry. And so it kind of catches on itself quite a bit. But it is so gorgeous, so beautiful. I'm a real close up. Look at the shine on that. I meant to say at the beginning, by the way, if the light seems a bit different today, that is because my ring light has broken. Well, I say broken, it's just stopped working. Yesterday, hang on, hair in my mouth. No, it was the day before yesterday. I went to turn it off and it wouldn't turn off. I had to physically unplug it to turn it off. and then tried to plug it back in and turn it back on. Nope. Wasn't having it. So tried it again yesterday, and no, it's just not working. So I've got a small lamp over there pointing kind of that way for some light, and my desk lamp here pointing that way for some light, and I hope it's okay, but it's not normal. That's the cat crying to get in. But if I open the door, you'll be able to hear Kelvin, my husband, in his meetings. So sorry, Neris, I'm gonna have to keep the door shut. What was I saying? Cushion. So this front panel, she's so noisy. This front panel is using the Big Skulls pattern by Sixel Design, who I mention in almost every episode because her patterns are amazing and I love them. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's worked out beautifully. There are, as you can see, two versions. There's the full skull, and then the skull without a lower jaw. And I've combined the both for this. Very, very happy with how it looks. And then at the back, because I need a couple of buttons to hold it together, I've just striped the back. And that's because I didn't think I had enough yarn to do. She's very distracting. To do that front panel again, to do the pattern again. And I think I was right. I have literally used up almost every last bit of the 4 balls of this yarn that I had. And they're only 50 gram balls, so it's yeah, just short of 200 grams I've used altogether. I think I've got enough left. I could maybe have done another 2-3 rows of the stripe, and that's it. So I was going to use it to add some extra tassels along the edge, but I'm not sure I even had enough to do that in a way that would have been it would have looked right, that it would have been worth it, basically. So I've just left it with the little fringy bits. These are all the ends from the wrong side, all the ends from the mosaic crochet pattern. It just means you don't have to weave them in, which is great. And I love it. I don't know if I was going to say anything else about this one. Oh, it's to fit a 12-inch cushion, I think, 12-inch square, roughly. I used a 4mm hook with the yarn. It's roughly a DK weight. I think that's everything I was going to say. I could be wrong. But yeah, I was so super happy with it. And hopefully my sister will be too. Just need to get those buttons sorted and I can give it to her. Please excuse the state of my nails today, by the way. They're awful. But I was going to redo them last night and I just didn't. Basically. Where can I put this that is safe? I'll have to just go down there for now. Okay, let's talk socks. So I meant to get my sock blockers out and I haven't done. In fact, hang on, I'll just get them now. I'm going to put these socks on the blockers while I am talking for a moment. So, no, sorry, I just had to pause it. My husband went to the bathroom and it is just through that wall. So you can hear everything from in here. I didn't want you to have to hear that. Socks. It is strictly season. Strictly Come Dancing in the UK, Dancing with the Stars in various other countries. And that means it is also the season for the Strictly Sock Along, as run by the amazing Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful here on YouTube. And so I'm making lots of socks at the moment. You've seen a few already over the past few weeks. I've got 2 pairs to show you today. Well, one completed pair, one work in progress, which I've only just started. So I shall start with the finished. These are now on my sock blockers. Oh, and there's little ends everywhere. That doesn't look so good, but never mind. These sock blockers are not the right size for these socks, but it's better than no blockers. So here we have a pair of Scrappy socks. These are just using up lots of different scraps of sock yarn that I've had lying around for a while, mostly from Vicky Brown Designs. I think there's a bit of Yorkshire Dales yarn in there too. It's mostly Vicky Brown. Most of my sock yarn is at the moment still. I've been collecting others recently, but but most of it's still from Vicky, I think. These are another pair made using the spiral sock pattern, which I've talked about on previous episodes. I will link it below. I cannot remember the name of the designer at the moment, but it's a free pattern on Ravelry, I think, so it'll be linked in the project page for these. It's a great pattern. The original pattern is written for DK-ish yarn. It's not entirely specific. I've made these using 4-ply, just tweaked things a bit to make them fit, and it's worked really, really well. I have made the heel a bit too big, so they are a little sort of loose here, and they're not, just not quite right, but they are better than the last attempt. I'm getting there. I think next time if I just make the heel a little bit smaller, heel smaller, and then the foot a little bit longer, and I think I'll be about there. So I'm really pleased with them. They're really comfortable. I've only worn them once, but still. And yeah, they're mad. The colours are crazy, but I love them. So that's the main thing. So that is a pair of socks number 1. I don't know if there was any other important information to tell you. Oh, I used a total of 65 grams of yarn. So if you've got, they work best with 2 colours, but although lots of colours apparently work quite well too. So if you've got a couple of half skeins or 50 gram skeins of sock yarn knocking around, they're a great pattern for those. I use a 2.5mm hook for pretty much all my socks now. I will occasionally size up a little, obviously for 4-ply yarn, and use a different hook for different yarn. I think that's it for those, which means now that I've shown you, I can take some proper pictures and then wear them properly, so that's nice. Do love wearing my handmade socks. I've got a pair on now actually. I'm wearing tights because I've got a dress on, but it's been so cold recently, my feet have been freezing, so I've got a pair of socks over the top. It's very sexy. Not. So the other socks, these are exciting. I have officially started. I know it's still November, but I didn't want to fall behind. Got the Christmas project back out. And I've started on the official Strictly socks, my official Strictly socks this year, as this is using official Strictly sock yarn. Oh dear, that's the notebook gone. As dyed by Green Lambkin Yarn, who is Suzanne, I think. And this is the first time I've used her yarn. And I know everybody raves and raves and raves about it, and it is beautiful. Sorry, just checking that was on the right page. It is beautiful. This is called Tango-tastic, and hang on, you get this right. Look at that. I've got it on her sparkle base, and it is stunning. The colours are gorgeous. It's working up really nicely. what I will say, the reason I'm being a little bit hesitant is because it feels a bit denser, a bit stiffer almost than other 4-ply sock yarn. I don't know whether that's just because of the sparkle. I don't think I've done a sparkly one before. It's still lovely, it's really smooth, it is soft, but it just means that these socks so far feel a little bit, what's the word, denser I suppose. Yeah, just a little bit denser than they normally, well, than they have done in other yarn. I'm not making any sense now, am I? I've used this pattern before with other yarn and the socks have turned out a lot just feeling like they've got a bit more give to them, if that makes sense. But I think these are still going to be really comfortable and they are looking lovely. Just making sure I don't get tangled and working. I always, these days I pretty much always do my socks 2 at a time, so if I don't complete one and then not want to do the other, because that has happened in the past. And because I'm caked it up so I can work from the centre for one sock and from the outside for the other, but I just have to be a little bit careful not to get tangled. But yeah, the colours are beautiful. And I have started using my Christmas stitch markers too. Is that in? There we go. I love these snowflakes. Picked those up at Yarndale this year. Anyway, the socks. Like I said, this is a pattern I have used before. I am using, I'll have talked about it many times I'm sure, the Watson Waffle socks pattern. I think the designer is Lakeside Loops. I might be wrong, but again it will be linked in the project page. And look how pretty it is working up really nicely. Obviously with it being a variegated yarn, there's a lot of colour pooling going on, but I think I've said before I like it when that happens. And actually I'm getting a really lovely, this is the back, the bottom of the foot, a really lovely sort of spiral going. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm really excited to see how they look when they're done. So my train of thought just keeps disappearing. I don't know what I was going to say then. I will move on. So I am only working on socks while watching Strictly at the moment because I've got so many other projects on the go. So there will be some progress the next time I speak to you, but I don't know how much. I suppose it'll have been another 2 weeks of Strictly, so I should have quite a bit done. And this is a pattern that does work up pretty quickly, I have found. Bless you, Kelvin. I don't know if you heard that big sneeze from the other room. He works from home, so he's just across the hall in his office. The walls are thin in this house. What was I saying? The pattern, yes, works up quickly. I, in the past, have always just done reasonably short ankle socks with this pattern. Just because I wear a lot of leggings around the house and I don't like too much of it doesn't always work really having longer socks, I think, with leggings. But I want to use up as much of this yarn as possible because it is so pretty. And I have bought it specifically for making socks. I didn't, it's a rare thing for me, but this was bought with a specific project in mind. And so yes, I want to use as much of it as possible, so I'm basically going to keep going till I run out, and we'll see how long the socks end up being. I tend to find, I think because I use quite a small hook, because I've got loose tension, so I pretty much always size down the hook for any pattern that I'm working on, more or less, especially garments though. So I tend to find that I use less yarn than is expected. you know, and then pattern notes will always give you a guideline as to how much yarn you're going to use. It's nearly always less for me, so it'll be interesting to see just how long these socks get and how much I can get out of a 100 gram skein. I have got some different yarn for the heel, just for a bit of contrast. That's another Vicky Brown yarn. Ned assures me, my son Ned, he's 8, he assures me that it'll go, that it will look okay. If you don't know, if you've not been here before, I am partially sighted, and one of the things that I struggle with is colour. These days I'm starting to go colourblind. So I'm not always sure exactly what colour I'm working with. But Ned says they'll go, so we'll see. Yes, that's a Vicky Brown yarn, of course. Just leftovers from a previous project. So yes, the heel will be in that, and I'll do a little bit around the cuff, I think, in that too. Otherwise it's going to be all this, and I cannot wait to see how they end up looking. They're going to be so pretty. And I'm just excited to have sparkly socks. Strictly socks, Christmas socks. I'll probably wear them all year round, to be honest. Well, not in the summer because I get too warm, but the rest of the year. This bag, incidentally, is from Green Lambkin as well. I saw it when I was buying that yarn, and just, it's the only Christmas project bag I've got. Before I bought this I didn't have one, and I thought, I can't not have a Christmas project bag. December is my favourite month of the year. Christmas is my favourite time of the year. Come on, I've got to have a Christmas project bag. And this one is just so pretty. So thank you, Suzanne, it's gorgeous. Right, socks done. How are we doing for time? Ooh, half an hour already. Okay, what else have I got to talk about? Right, I'll talk about a couple more projects, and then I think I will stop and do a part 2, because otherwise this will be really long. So, a quick one that I can't show you because Ned's taken it to school with him. Again, that's my son, Ned, he's 8. Because it's for him. I made him a scarf the other day. I've been meaning to for the last couple of months, with the weather starting to get colder. This week, really, really cold here. We had a little bit of snow on Tuesday. Yesterday. Only a very tiny bit. And it was gone by lunchtime. But it was nice to see when we woke up. We are hitting minus figures overnight at the moment. Only just, you know, it's not like we're in the north of Canada or anything. It's not ridiculous. But for here, it's very, very cold. And so yeah, on Monday I made him a scarf. I shall pop a picture here for you. And there's not a huge amount to say about it, really. I used, what is the yarn called? Hobby Peacock, I think. And I think the colour is just called red. I didn't quite use the full skein, but there's not a lot left. I think there's about 10-15 grams left of 100 gram skein. I can't remember what size hook I used. I should have written all this down so I could do a proper project page, and I cannot remember. I'll put as much information in there as I can. I think it might have been an 8mm hook, or possibly a 9 even, which I don't normally use. I tend to stick to 4mm or lower. I'm a small hook kind of girl. But this yarn needed a big hook, and I wanted it to be nice and loose and drapey for him, so it'd be really comfortable. He's been wearing it the last couple of days and he loves it, which is really good because he is picky, so picky about crochet stuff. I guess it's a bit of a sensory thing. He doesn't really like the feel of certain yarns, even if sometimes he'll like them in the skein. You know, we'll give it a squish and go, oh, that's nice, but then I'll make him something and he won't wear it because it doesn't feel good anymore. So we did a bit of a test run with that yarn. I crocheted up a few rows and was like, right, have this. Give it a good feel. And he said it was nice. So I made the scarf, added a little button so we can do it up. Although it's quite loose on him, actually, even done up. And he's not, I think he's just been taking it on and off over his head, so I might sew it up, make it into more of a cowl, because otherwise that button is just going to come off. So I might just make it decoration, and I've got a few more that match actually, so I could sew a couple more on for him. I'm just waffling now. It's lovely. It was a really quick make, a couple of hours I think, and there's no pattern or anything. I just did a chain for about the right width, and then I think I ended up eventually, after a bit of trial and error, doing US terms, double crochet, chain one, double crochet, chain one. You sort of ended up with a kind of mesh stitch-ish going on, but because of all the fluff you can't really see the holes, but it means it's nice and drapey, nice and soft, but still warm for him. So far so good. Hopefully he will continue liking it, continue wearing it, and yeah, it was successful. Okay, another quick one. Chair, sorry. I'm just going to do a very, very quick show of this. I said last time, another cool project bag. Bought this from the British Royal Legion shop when I was getting our poppy pins this year. Beautiful bag. Always up for a new project bag, and that was very, very affordable, and the money's gone to charity, so all good. Yeah, I mentioned last time that I've been making mini stockings. These are to take along to the craft market at the end of the month. They will go up on my website in my shop as well. I'm intending to do that this week, but time is running out, so I'll get them up as soon as I can. I've just got a few new ones to show you. I've got my sparkly thread out. I don't know how well you can see the sparkle. I'm hoping it'll pick up a bit, because the light's a bit dodgy. Yeah, I've just been making a few, basically. Gonna do a few more and then stop, because I've got other things as well. Where are the really sparkly ones? Did they go in here, or are they downstairs still? I thought I'd put them in here. No. If I have, they are hiding from me. Huh. Hang on a sec. I've got a pair that are grey. Really pale grey with the silver sparkle. Maybe that's the pair I'm working on at the moment, actually. It might be downstairs in the yarn bowl. Yes, I think they must be. These are all made using Hobby Rainbow Cotton 8/4. Yeah, in various colours. It's lovely yarn. I've worked with it a lot before. I've just pulled some colours that I like out of my stash. I'm not bothered about whether or not they are Christmassy. And then I have red and gold, and I've got silver downstairs. This really lovely, super shiny thread that I just hold with the cotton to add the sparkle. And that was those. There's not a lot to say about them really. I can't remember where the pattern's from. If I can find it, I will link it. But honestly, it's just a pattern that I know now, so I don't really refer back to it anymore. I've made so many of those. I made a bunch last year, and then I've made enough again this year that the pattern is locked in my head. I know what I'm doing. But yes, if I find it, I will link back to it for you. Right, I think I've got a couple more projects to talk about. I do. But I think I'm going to stop here save them for part 2 because, okay, I've got editing to do, but I'm on 40 minutes already. And if I keep going, it'll get too long and you won't want to watch it. Hopefully it'll be a little bit shorter by the time I've done the editing. We shall see. Yeah, so nothing more to say at the moment. Really, I will stop here. I will record part 2. I will upload it the day after this one, so this will have gone up on the Friday, which will be the 22nd of November, and I'll, in theory, if I remember, I will schedule part 2 to go up on the Saturday 23rd, just to give you a bit of breathing space in between. Obviously, if you're watching later than that, you'll have seen them both at the same time, and that's fine too. Right, stop waffling. I'll be back.